That's why I was kind of zooming. That's why I was kind of zooming in on the letters, because I can get that real nice. Oh, I can zoom in better. Actually, I think this is a good shot right here.
I'll start. From the Onion Creek Soccer Complex in Austin, Texas, this is the 2024 USAFL National Championships presented by Tasmanian. As we move along to the second round of games here in Men's Division 3, it's the North Texas Devils against the LA Dragons. The Dallas-based Devils in the green jumpers from top to bottom with the yellow trim. The LA Dragons are in the silver with the blue trim. They are headed from left to right on your screen of watching choice. Brian Barish here with you alongside Dan Sarbacker, the head of the USAFL International Program. And SARS, I like this game. LA usually playing up in Division 1, playing down in D3 right now because of the numbers, but should be competitive against an up-and-coming North Texas team.
Yeah, injuries and just a bit of an off year, right, for LA and North Texas. We got to see the reserve side earlier, and boy, they're pretty sharp. I like that game. That tells me there's a lot of depth with the North Texas Devils. Like you mentioned, that Dallas-based side, so a local-ish game. Probably a lot of those players driving down. We're getting really good numbers here at the tournament, so I'm keen to see this. This could be an absolute cracker of a battle.
Yeah, it should really be so. And we mentioned the Devils, who began play, really founded in 2020, and had their first nationals actually right here in Austin, Texas in 2021. They went 0-3 that year, but they showed some decent signs of improvement, or at least some signs of progress. And then as time went on, they got a little bit better and a little bit better. They're the number 2 seed in this group. And then playing an LA side who, as we said, a little bit down over the last couple of years, but they still have a lot of decent talent, especially when you look at guys like Sam Murphy, Donald Lee, Gabriel Martin Del Campo, who are in the national team program.
Yeah, and you mentioned a couple of veterans there and some really good ball users for the Revolution side. Make up the core of some of this team. Donald D-Rock, just an absolute gun in the ruck. Big leaper, big body. He's a really great target when you use him in places other than the ruck, and he works hard.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's great to see him develop as a player because championships in the Western Regional Championships in 2015, it was great to see both. It was great to see him because develop his skills and learn to be able to hit out to different players. So we'll see how they go. As we mentioned, the Dragons, they have players, of course, from the Jacksonville Saints, a team that won Division 4 actually last year. They combined with the Wisconsin Wombats to do that. And the Wombats, of course, now playing alongside, we mentioned St. Louis down in Div 4, but they've got some good talent looking at some of their players. They've got, we mentioned Logan Rainwater, Jack Wilcox, who is the reigning Jeff Cam medal winner as well. So some good talent on both sides. Nothing's happened yet through the first couple of minutes of play. And It's a little bit of a feeling out process here in the opening, in the early going.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth, most of the play in the middle of the ground here. Everybody just dipping a toe in the water, it appears, and sizing each other up.
And just taking a look at how both of these teams did, we can tell you that the North Texas Devils did defeat the Philadelphia Hawks 54-0 in their opening game. We don't have.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah. Whoops. Calgary and LA, we don't have a score from the first game for you for that, unfortunately. So we'll try and figure out how they did in their first game. But right now, the Dragons moving the ball forward and. Now trying to get the ball out of the back line, sending this one up on the far side. That's marked nicely. Coming through and taking the mark is the 18, who is Matthew Bork, who has the football. Bork will look forward, and that one will go back from whence it came. And now we realize that we have to go through the. We bring out the record to look for the North Texas players that they provided as the ball goes over into the pocket and it's out of bounds. The temperature, we've been keeping an eye on it up to 89 degrees now. It's a far cry from the 66 it was at the first ball up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, really nice build up there from the Devils. Man, they'd be disappointed in the end result there. You want to kick 6 after that. That's highlight reel stuff. The quick play on from halfback, quick play on around the 50. Should have been a goal at the end of that, but it was a really nice build up.
Here is Donald Lee, who has the football, able to get a pass back, sending this one down the line, going up and getting it at a nice mark, and that is Murphy. So here is Sam Murphy. Played some football in West Perth, and then a good centering ball as it drops in front. Going to line up, oh, he snuck up from behind him and just got the ball away, but right in front and banging it home. And a good job there by Eric Gloria to find Dylan Kelps, the man from Jacksonville, and that gives them an early lead on the Watch AFL scoreboard, 6-0 to the Dragons.
Yeah, so 5-point swing on that one, 9-point swing rather. Should have been 6 the other way, and North Texas would have been disappointed in the result. Instantly, LA rebounds. Were able to work up the near side boundary, and that's what you want to target in the forward half of the field with this wind. Pushing from us across the field. Sam Murphy with the mark there, and then the switch through the middle. Both sides are having success finding those inboard passes.
Ball back in the air once again. And it's 6-1. It's 6-1. Did they get it behind him? We missed it. It looks like they may have. So 6-1 is the score that we have as the ball comes down, going to get picked up, and that's Gabriel Martin Del Campo. Spears that one through. Well, that was a big, long leg of he almost looked like a flamingo trying to go through and get that mark, but it's taken there by the captain, Marcus Sobel, for the Devils. Go up on the far side now. Of course, Dallas is a region that is steeped in USAFL history in one way or another. Of course, longtime home to the Dallas Magpies and then the Dallas Dingoes. And it seems by and large that the Devils have become the preeminent club in Dallas, but they have done so in a pretty impressive fashion, as we have mentioned, both on and off the field. Ball's in that far side now. Waiting to go back into play as the ball gets kicked back in. Off the hands there of the vice captain, that's Daniel Sarney.
Yeah, both, excuse me, LA benefiting from the wind at their back a little bit here. Their kick's getting a little more purchase. You see that kick out of fullback, probably sailed at almost 60 meters and out for the boundary throw.
Boundary throw-in will occur directly across from us here at Onion Creek Soccer Complex on this warm but sunny day here in Central Texas. And almost taking the mark, but a clean bold of it, and then going and picking that one up and going left and going right, but then running right into a blue and silver brick wall as Daniel Mason was imploring that he got rid of the ball. Unfortunately, he didn't, and Glenn Govers gets the free kick. Or it is, let's see, it was either 10 or 12. I think it was Govers who got it. We'll find out in a moment here, because he's going to go back and kick this one. He sends this one on the way. It is Govers who sends it into the goal square, almost taking the mark. 2 Devils there, and conceding the behind was Greg Smith, and on the Watch AFL scoreboard, that gives them a straight kick lead. So they got a 1-1-7 1 point for the Devils. Brian Barish alongside Dan Sarbacker.
Yeah, smart play there by Smith. The flow of play and the penalty, they just didn't have numbers back, so smart of him to rush that behind instead of trying to build out of the back.
They go to work the ball forward now, and goes down the middle of the ground. Here come the Devils. Devils wearing the green and yellow and red jumpers, and we mentioned, of course, Tasmania as a sponsor of the USAFL, and our main presenting sponsor of the USAFL, and of course, you've got the Tasmania Devils, who are set to come into AFL and AFLW in a couple of years' time. I am a founding member. I have my sticker. The ball caroms away, cleared out by the Dragons as this one goes down the ground. Oh, that was a big hit, and very slow to get up, but getting up nonetheless was Nathan Bender. And he's going to need some of that, some of his own name a little bit, although he does appear to be okay.
Greg Smith with a massive spoil there.
That was a pretty strong. You might even say it was stronger than a garlic milkshake.
Yeah, it was one of your best lines ever, Brian. 35 there for the Devils. Greg Smith playing in the fullback or halfback line for them with a big spoil. He wasn't in front net, so he brought the ball to ground with emphasis.
Ball comes back into play. This one is sent in along, and it is knocked down. Ball goes to ground and will go out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in. We've played almost halfway through this first half. Remember, we're playing two 20-minute halves here. 1-1-7 LA, one behind North Texas. Watch AFL scoreboard. Ball comes back into play, gets knocked down. North Texas controls it. Going out, going up high, one-on-one, almost taking a one-handed mark there was the 20 for LA, who's down at the bottom. That's Frederick Schulin. As the ball goes to ground, Schulin is a veteran of this side. And now here come the Dragons back the other way. They work it around to Burke. Burke will send this one in, but it's picked off, and that ends that. So taking the mark there was Justin Kenna, a former LA Dragon, one of a couple of players for the Dragons. Paul Iokim is the other one who played for the LA Dragons and has now come across the play for North Texas. Good dancing away there, and they handball, but it's all the mustard came off the hot dog. That's doing a good job of taking the ball away from Ophilder. There was Zach Canterbury, one of two Canterburys. Josh, his brother, was on the reserves program. This one is sent in now. Ball goes in. Oh, nice mark. Good mark in front. Now have a chance for goal.
Strong contested grab there. Obviously, the pack was going to form with how long the kick was delayed here in the middle. He took his time, saw that start to form. Big long kick in, but 12.
David Orr,
thank you. David Orr with the big contested mark, and he's probably 30 degrees, 20 degrees. Wind pushing his kick away from left to right.
Oh, David Orr, whatever are you looking for? This smart forward from the south has kicked football in the mouth behind, and now go through for a minor score. Second point of the game for the Devils. They go to 2 points. They trail by 5. 1-1-7 for the LA Dragons, with members of the Jacksonville Saints as well. As this ball is sent down the line, and Donald Lee parked under it, but it went off of his chest. Had a little help from his friends there. Comes out to the near side looking for Burke. Burke has a man in front of him. Oh, but he got sold there, and he got slipped into the tackle, and a little bit of grabbing and a little bit of an Australian hug afterwards, as Hatton getting into it a little bit with Rick Shabani, who has played down in Australia. Comes out to the far side, off the hands, and taken by David Dollar. That's a name we've heard from the past very often. Is ball. Everybody is getting mixed up in each other. It's like Legos getting stuck together out in the middle of the ground. Finally getting it from that is the number 32, who we don't have, and he has sent that one through. I think that's a goal. Yes, sir. And that's the first major score of the game for the men from North Texas. But nope, it has gone through 4 behind.
He's appealing that because he kicked that out from behind. Good play by the defender who twisted him. It sure looked to me like he played on. I don't think the umpire is going to call that back like he wants.
7-3 is the score now. That's on the Watch AFL scoreboard.
It's amazing, Brian. The game lifts just a little bit when points start going up. There's some intensity here in the tackling, a little bit of extracurriculars, maybe an ear massage or two in the marking contest.
Absolutely, as the ball gets set to go back now through the middle of the ground. So that's only the second. So we'll talk muck-ups for Barish. That's 2 for those of you scoring at home. Hopefully there isn't a drinking game. There probably is a Brian Barish drinking game, but if there is, I'd like to know about it.
Well, then it's a leisurely one in the lawn chair with only 2 on the day. People are just slow sipping their drinks, Brian, instead of having a chug them.
You're too kind, Sarge. You're too kind. As the ball's up on the far side now. Again, 7-3. As we are again trying to find out for you LA's record, having played Calgary to start things off. Philadelphia is playing the Calgary Kangaroos directly behind us as this one pops up in the air, going back to get to it, and then a long handball across, and it's cleared out by the Dragons. Ball rolls, skips, hops. It's like a Mexican jumping bean, although that's a few miles to the north. Finally running on to get it to it is Warrior, who gets absolutely flattened, but they keep possession to the Dragons. Coming down the middle of the ground, over the top, trying to take the mark, and then going to pick that one up, and then trying to rush through was Mason, and then getting the ball over. Check that was Sobel who got it to Hatton. The ball is up on the far side now, and we have everybody is held up. The umpire crosses himself like the Monsignor. Turns around, tosses the ball to the heavens as that one was cleared out. Now out of the back by Smith, who was able to get it away from Murphy. Sending now into the 30-meter, into the 50-meter arc now. Going and chasing after it is Kirkland. I love his sweatshirts as he tries to go through and try and kick that one in towards the sticks. But it is cleared out of the back as it went out of bounds on the full. And it's cleared out of the back with the attack there, and just a little bit of more, it's getting a little chippy out there, and I don't need Ben Carpenter Wanyanwu. He plays in Division I. We'll have the boundary throw in directly across from us.
Yeah, it's you can tell these sides are just starting to dig in harder and harder against each other here. There's not much on the scoreboard. A lot of hard contested play right through the middle of the ground. And
the one thing is, we mentioned that there's that D1 from the Dragons. They played in D2 for a while as this one is kicked up. Drifts across. One-on-one contest, going up high to try and get it was Dominic Graves, the former San Diego Lion. And then going over to get it now and chasing after it quickly is John Morey, the vice captain. Morey goes after it, and ball goes up on the far side now, sending back from whence it came. It's going to go, it's going to roll, it's going to skip, it's going to hop, it's going to stay in, it's going to send this one in towards the sticks, it's going to drift across, that has gone sailing out of bounds on the full, and we'll have a free kick back the other way.
Great effort, nice pickup there. Probably didn't get the tip of the ball like he wanted, more in the fat part, and so it sailed away a little bit on him out on the full.
So it'll be a free kick coming out to the near side, and taking the nice mark there was Mike Chapman. Chapman with the football now, continues down the left wing, good position there in front by Bork, and he was able to avoid Josh Pilati from getting to it, and then staying with it, and then just getting tripped up there, Bork. I think that was, I don't think that was intentional, but the ball gets taken down, and it's a nice mark of them inside by Joel Thornton. Thornton looks to go inboard, almost taking it off a blade of grass was Kirkland, and then getting hit, playing this one on is Thornton. Big tackle, as you can hear the oohs and the ahs from the North Texas crowd to our left as the ball gets taken in on a mark. Once again, turning around, that is Morey. Morey, one of the vice captains, sending this one in, 1-2 type, going to get picked up and swinging around, throwing this one on to the left. Does he have a target? Yup. Oh, and then Orr was taken down after the fact, and I don't know that they paid it. Well, I don't know what happened there. It didn't look like they paid it, SARS.
Everyone here on the boundary thought that should have been paid, including you and I, Brian, and that tackle would have paid a 50 afterwards, but the umpire thought differently.
But here they come again, and this time there is no mistake on the mark as he takes that one dead in front. It's going to be from about a 45-degree angle, however, as once again, that ball must have gone 14.99 meters
Well, the footy gods obviously thought that should have been a mark earlier too, because he ended up with it again, although this one he sprayed a little bit. Steve Arnett's sitting here in front of me with a clipboard. I don't know if he's doing evaluations right now, but he's probably making notes on whether that should have been called or not. And there he is.
I think you just went on his list. Let's see. I don't think they did get a point out of that, so it's 7-4. So 1-1-7 plays 4 behinds, and right now North Texas they are standing at the craps table, but they're only throwing snake eyes at the moment as the ball gets taken over the back once again by I believe that was Smith there, the 35, who's come all the way back, and now he come around. Has a man to the near side in Canterbury. Zach Canterbury, if he needs him, gets a room service bounce and a little bit of room. Has a bounce once again. Oh, it didn't come off, but he was pressured. Now gets some help. Good handball. This is good play. Josh Canterbury goes into the middle of the top of the 50-meter arc where it's marked, but that ends that. And back the other way comes LA. It didn't yield anything, but they look very dangerous to the Devils.
Yeah, even against the wind, they found how to move this ball really effectively. They're getting the switch that they want. Great space to work here on the near side, and they're utilizing it.
Ball up on the far side now as the ball gets taken down, and it's going to get handballed back. Handballed around. The Devils look really, really good as the mark is taken, and going to play that one on quickly is Tyson Harding. Harding goes inside now as the ball bounces away. LA has it back the other way. There's Jack Wilcox. You can't miss that haircut as he sends this one down the line. Punched free off the wrist. Lee is in there as well. He grabs the football, and he gets taken down now. Going to get picked up, and the Devils try to work it the other way. Here comes North Texas. Long, big kick down in the middle of the ground. Marked once again by David Orr. He's been the prime mover in that forward line for the Devils.
Yeah, really effective in forward line for them. He's been on the receiving end of a number of these. Now, I know everyone's backing him to slot this from here. It's a ways out, maybe on the end of his range with the wind blowing right in his face.
Gonna slide in now. Slots back, the kick is up on the way. It is off to the left and by the outstretched hands of Jack Wilcox, and they will go through for another minor score. That's their 5th, and all these chances, they're 2 points behind on the Watch AFL scoreboard. 5 behinds, plays 1-1.
Yeah, for those new to Aussie rules football, the difference between major and minor scores, we count them all as scoring chances, but when most or all your scoring chances are minor scores, you don't put much on the board. You want to see those majors. Could be 30 points instead of 5 at this point.
It's almost like in American football, if you see a team kick 5 field goals, it's almost as good as 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you equate that to red zone efficiency, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a sort of like a half chance or not, and that is halftime at the football. Well, this has been a very interesting first half, if nothing else. The Dragons had a little bit of the sway of play in the early going. The Devils have controlled most of the territorial advantage and the scoring chances at halftime here on Cooper's Field. It's the LA Dragons, 1 goal, 1 behind, 7 points. And the North Texas Devils, 5 behind. Some halftime thoughts from Dan Sarback.
Yeah, so I'll be really curious in the second half to see if the Devils kicking straightens out when they've got the wind at their backs a little more. They've found ways to effectively move it, but they have not found the way to effectively score. From LA's perspective, they're probably a step slow at times at the contest, or maybe a body short. They make that correction at halftime, they're going to be in this, but then they've got to do the same thing they just had done to them by North Texas, moving against the wind. What North Texas has done beautifully, and number 11 is the poster child, Joel Thornton, is playing on quickly. You go back and you see some of those sequences. He was so intent on receiving marks and playing on quickly because he knows that's lethal, and they did it really, really well through him and a number of other players.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, between the two sides. They've been really, as I said, they look really, really, really dangerous in some of these players. And listen, LA, I mean, LA, they're missing some of their bigger players, but Jacksonville has, some good side. We mentioned Wilcox, and the Devils are controlling the game, and they will have the win in the second half, which we will have when we return on the other side of the break. You're watching the 2024 USAFL Nationals presented by Tasmanian, thanks to Gridiron Productions here on USAFL.com.
The USAFL 2024 Nationals is brought to you by Tasmanian, the quiet pursuit of the extraordinary. Coopers, Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Visit Austin, live music capital of the world. Two Hands Hospitality, fueling your lifestyle. Watch AFL. Stream every match. Devil's Corner, Tasmania. HBC Event Services. Play Aussie. Premier Sports Medicine. And by the Movember Foundation.
Second half of this game of Men's Division III between the LA Dragons and the North Texas Devils about to get underway here from Onion Creek Soccer Complex in Austin, Texas. And thanks to Visit Austin for putting us up here for these 2 days. It's the LA Dragons leading the North Texas Devils 7-5. Brian Barish and Dan Sarbacker from the USA Revolution and the USA International Program. And you mentioned in the halftime that the action really picked up in that side. That's probably the most fluid that the games have been so far in this match as we're underway here in the second half.
Yeah, really, really good contest, and we appreciate everyone joining us from home, especially those playing the brand new invented drinking game, the Bearish Blue or the Bearish Blooper.
Oh, God.
Only his second on the day with the scoreboard, so we're poking a little fun at him here. But stay hydrated for you at home if you're playing the game, and for those here on the ground because it's getting hot. And as Brian mentioned, the footy's heating up. The contested possessions, the intensity here, just a couple nicks on the scoreboard, and it really lit up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it'll be interesting to see here in the second half what kind of half we have. Will we see more of the first half where it's a relatively low-scoring game, or are we going to see a second half where one team like balloons, or perhaps maybe both teams really light it up? We'll have to see what happens as we have the ball up on the far side. Big hit put in there, just absolutely flattened him. The man in Thomas Clark, and I don't think he ended up getting the call out of that. In fact, the umpire said there was no prior opportunity, so he tosses it once again. The ball goes down, and so does Donald Lee, who only had eyes for the football, hands it back, and here come the Dragons. Left-footed kick. And just out of the reach of the defender, but he had to behind him. Oh, he dropped the pill. David Dollar with a big tackle on there. Wasn't paid, but that's okay. As the ball comes out, just got it free now over to the man in Norman Gerard. As the ball gets knocked down off the hands of 16 there, who is Maury, the vice captain. Ball goes up on the far side now, going in after it, trying to pick that one up, and going down. Now going after it, and just getting that one away, but he turned it over. Barely went 15. Quick turn in. They're looking for the leader, the Devils. Down to big tackle, and they absolutely squish him into the ground. It was like a lantern fly of some sort. As the ball drops in front, it'll roll, it'll skip, it'll pop up for somebody. Dollar came from somewhere out near San Antonio to get to it. As the ball floats out towards the boundary line, and the question is was that marked?
Out on the full.
Thank you.
Signal from the umpire.
In front of Justin Kenna, money, as they call it.
You may ask, what's the value of tackles that you're not awarded for? Well, a couple things. We saw the ball spill a minute ago because the tackle was applied so hard. Free pill then. And the one earlier, the advantage in those situations, tied up for a ball up, but you have that intangible of, man, they're hard at it, and you're feeling that pressure when they're applying tackles like that.
The ball gets sent down the ground and over to get it over Murphy's head. He ended up ducking and covering, and the ball bounces free, and it's going to find Chapman in the middle of the ground as the wind's starting to pick up a little bit more now. We're not quite in Helen Hunt, Bill Paxson territory, but it is getting a little windier over here as a good spoil from behind. Ball comes out free, going to get picked up again by Kenna. Java will send this one in now. Down the line, it is taken down off the hands, and the ball has traversed over and out. Good buddy, speaking of truckers.
Yeah, that's Gabe Del Campo, 33 with the spoil there. Not a catchable ball, but he made sure that North Texas didn't either and sees it over the line, so he's happy with that.
Named to the All-Transatlantic Cup team in Toronto back in August.
Great tournament. He had a fantastic tournament, and good on him. He works hard, and he's just silky smooth with the use of the football.
Had a great game in the semi-final victory over Canada. Had a really good goal, too, and it looks like he got pulled down without the football. So free kick now, as I'm wondering if...
Signal was the wrong direction there, so that is a North Texas kick, and I think on a sling tackle.
And it will go against Nathan Mender. There's some feints once, twice, 3 times a lady, as this one finally goes forward, up the near side. Going to get up, get loose, going to get knocked down, going to get patted away to Graves. Now turning this one over. Kenna centering ball up high, coming across. Oh, what a nice defensive mark taken. Scoreless second half, 7-5 the score. The Dragons hanging on to a 2-point lead over the Devils here in Men's Division 3. The Devils were shutout winners over Philadelphia in Game 1. And as we mentioned, we are still waiting for the site to update what happened with Game 2. We are, as we mentioned, a little bit behind with the score. So if you're checking on USAFL.com, we'll certainly bend your indulgence. As the ball goes up on the forward side now, and the ball gets knocked down. And we'll have a free kick. It will go the way of the Devils. Out the back now.
19 for the Dragons. Looks like he just separated his shoulder. Jacksonville player Spencer Norman Gerard is headed off the ground. He's really favoring that left shoulder.
Good spot by Jason Becker, who's our spotter here for this match. You're going to hear him in a couple of hours, actually. It'll be the SARS and Becker show. That'll be fun. I'll tune in for that.
Little Statler and Waldorf action for any Muppets fans. The cheap seats commentary up in the balcony.
Are you calling yourselves old?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of that. There's a bit of that going on for sure.
We're just trying to figure out here as Lee gives the ball over to Greg Smith, and then they go pan ball back and play on quickly. Selling a little candy. I'll have some junior mints as this one is sent down, going up high, but the mark is taken, and that ends that. The Dragons will try and shake the Etch-a-Sketch and draw up something new as going out the far side with Shulene. Goes up on the far side now. Going to try and find it, but it's marked. Here come the Devils. They trail by 2. Still scoreless in the second half. It's 7-5. Going all the way through. Oh, what a goal! Oh, he read that well. Oh, what a fantastic read. He cut through the defense like butter, and it was great vision, a little bit of luck, but great skills all the same. The Devils finally get there first. They go to 1-5-11. They lead by 4 points, 1-1-7. Watch AFL scoreboard. Josh Canterbury, the USA Revolution product, really kind of giving you a little bit of a hint.
Yeah, sneaking in the backside for that goal. And we've talked about it earlier. Ball's traveling left to right towards that Onion Creek end. You're going to have just a little more carry, and it did. It carried over that pack. He snuck right around the back to where that ball spilled and was able to collect an easy possession and kick one from about a meter out. Finally, they hit the front. I tell you what, the body language of the Dragons right now, not good. They were all hanging their heads like it was an eventuality that they were going to go behind to this Devil side.
Still plenty of time, however, to try and get back the lead, and only 4 points separates the sides now as the ball is up on the far side. All they need is a goal, and they stick their beaks or noses or whatever you want to call it in front. Handballs it over now to Kenna. Kenna bootlegs around. Going to throw that one onto the left now. Marked nicely on the far side. Looking to prey on quickly. Gets it back to Kenna, who has a bounce, has a look, has a right-footed kick up high, trailing back. Knocked down in front. Going to go over to get it, try and pick that one up on the hard around. Once again is that man, Josh Canterbury, going to center that one into the 32, who we don't have. Ball gets knocked down once again, and now all the way going back the other way is 5, who is Eric Loria. Loria sees the ball ricochet off. He'll have a bounce. Big takedown.
Yeah, that should be a paid tackle. He tries to have a bounce and gets tackled in the middle of that. Should have paid a 52. He had possession of that ball and just left it. Yeah, he paid it.
And you have to give the ball directly back to the player who is getting the free kick, or else you come down 50 meters. The kick is moved up 50 meters. So the one interesting thing, and sometimes it comes into play and sometimes it doesn't, you have to keep the same ball kicker. So Waria, who earned the free kick, still gets the free kick. It's not like a penalty kick in soccer where you can pick somebody to do it.
Yeah, no specialists in this sport. Any of the 18 on the ground that were there when the penalty happened can be the kicker.
Murphy looking for a specky, got a grass sandwich, going to get picked up there once again by Govers, and this one is through. In fact, this one out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in directly across from us. The dream team of boundary umpires between Angus and Ellen and, oh no, I've forgotten the third guy. Oh well. But they are here, of course. We mentioned a lot of boundary umpires, as we mentioned a lot of volunteers from the club's boundary umpiring, but we have dedicated boundary umpires as well who have umpired back in Australia. And this one is getting walked forward.
You hear overhear that bell ringing in the background. That is, in fact, an ice cream cart getting wheeled behind us, which is a bit unfair, I think, for anyone that's playing or commentating or umpiring.
And otherwise can't sit and eat ice cream?
That's right.
I was like, do never hear the bells. As this one is sent on the way, it is dead center, perfect, and the Dragons are in front. So that'll help them a little bit. They lead by 2 points. Watch AFL scoreboard. LA 2-1-13, leading North Texas 1-5-11. So watch AFL scoreboard.
Right on the bell. LA gets the retort there. Again, don't love the body language. Want to see them getting around each other, but it's getting hot. The players are getting fatigued. You can see it start to set in. So that was a hard-earned goal for them. And I don't know, beaks, what do Dragons have? Probably snouts. Put their snout back in front, and they're breathing a little fire again.
Well, and the other thing to remember here is that these two teams, after this game, will be done for the day. They'll be done at 2 o'clock, so they'll have the rest of the day
into recovery mode, right?
To go into recovery, relax, get some recovery, get some fluids, just sit around watching, or perhaps go back. If they don't, they'll go back to the hotel, maybe jump in the pool, jump in the tub. This is also a very big a part of it. It's about match management. You're playing essentially, you're playing 4 games in 2 days, and it's a matter of how you manage, injuries and the little bumps and bruises and nicks and all that other stuff. So the ball's up on the far side. So the Dragons leading by 2 points, 13-11. We've had some good games here on Cooper's Field. We hope you've enjoyed the action so far. Philadelphia and Calgary with Rod Grillisich, who is pinch hitting in the in the commentary position here for that match. Good to hear Grilla back on the mic. Ball comes up on the far side now as this one is sent back into the middle of the ground. Going to get knocked down. Dollar is there, and Money is wrapped up, and there's a little bit of extras afterwards, but North Texas has it. They'll play on. Kick is up on the way. Umpire does a little bit of a shuffle to the right, and he goes ba-bam. Devils back in front. We're on the seesaw. Watch AFL scoreboard: 2-5-17 North Texas to 1-13 for LA, and that another good play. They just keep taking those punches and dealing them back out.
Yeah, again, so scoring chances here, 7-3. This is a little more what you'd expect from just watching the game if you didn't know what the score was. North Texas stringing stuff to get together a little bit better. They've been able and intent on playing on quickly from marks when they can. There was another one right there on the far side that preceded the forward 50 entry. So yeah, you kind of wonder if they're going to run out. The Dragons obviously have some class, and the pressure they've been able to apply is keep them in it, but not getting as many numbers of the contest as they need to, and maybe along their core, not able to string enough together with the rest of the depth in their line.
And that's been the key. As the ball goes up on the far side now, as here comes the Dragons, as they want that lead back, and they want it right now, right in front of the Cooper's Beer Tent, and just putting that one on the line. A good job there by Chapman, who has had a little bit of the footy. Turns around and the ball gets knocked down. Gonna get picked up once again. Big tackle put in there once again, and then getting the ball off high up in the air. Who wants it? Everybody. Who's got it? Nobody, as it bounds away, but there's a man out the back. And has he got it? Yes, he has. And the Devils kick 2 in a row. Give that one once again to David Orr, who has really been prolific in the forward line for the men in green. They go to 3-5-23. The lead out to 12. What is that? 12 points? No, right? Yeah, something like that. 2-1-13 is out to 12. 10 points.
10 points. Yeah.
My math has let me down.
Or there with a nice little bit of crumbs, pick up on the backside, quick spin, and snap it on his boot straight through the stick. So 2 in a row from two sides that have been just trading punches, a couple of lead changes, and a bit of a slog, seeing all those behinds go up on the scoreboard. Maybe now the Devils are starting to get rewarded with straight kicks.
Yeah, 3 straight. After having 5 behinds, they've kicked 3 straight, and that has helped. I mean, it's a good foundation, but you got to kick goals to win this game. And as Bill Robert, who is leading the coverage over on Field 2, would say, if you kick too many behinds, you get your behind kick. As the ball goes down, it gets scooped up. As the ball gets knocked down, here comes a big hit. Is Chapman. I was watching the play. Chapman got absolutely bumped, and they're going to pay this downfield. I had the binoculars on that. He got knocked sideways, I believe, by Murphy. I think Murphy was just a little late arriving, and that's why they paid the free kick.
Maybe some frustration showing through there for the Dragons side. Absolutely deserved to be paid downfield.
With a win, they'll be in the catbird seat at 2-0. Of course, we are trying to figure out with Calgary how they did against Los Angeles in that other game. We'll keep an eye on that, as well as the Philadelphia-Calgary game behind us.
Well, a bit of a loss, Brian, why the kick paid downfield was still given to the guy.
I'm wondering,
unless they paid a 50 when he still had possession. That should have gone to whoever was closest to where that kick was then.
4 hands on the footy, but they were all Dragon hands, and it is one of Jacksonville's finest. And Logan Rainwater, one of my favorite names in the league, as he takes the football, and he will kick the ball through his sticks, and that one goes up to the far side. The ball bounces free, going to get picked up, and here come the Dragons. Let's see what they can do. They only trail by 2 straight kicks, and here is, he was horse-collared, and well, the umpire had his back to us. Yes, that's what it's called. And so Dollar has a free kick. He will get rid of it quickly. Now trying to handball his way through the gauntlet, and that probably a little ill-advised. Boundary throw-in as the Dragons lose the possession.
Another thing the Devils are doing probably better than LA at this point is finding opportunities to go back inboard. The ball does get pinned on that far side with the wind, but the Devils have been intent on finding inboard passes at times. Dragons seem to get pinned over there, and it's boundary throw after boundary throw. They just haven't had the success finding the open field, which is in the middle of the ground.
Ball will come back into play from directly across from us now. Again, a 10-point lead for the Dragons as the ball gets topped up. Ball gets knocked down, ball comes free, and handballs it out. Going all the way back, looking, dancing, romancing. Big smother in there by Julien. And he said, get that out of my face, underwear, whatever, as the ball will have a boundary throw in once across. He was playing by Soviet rules. Football kicks you. We have no blues here, only reds. Ball will come back in. As I may have stolen that from Robin Williams, who knows, as the ball comes up on the far side. And dancing away, again, the Dragons trying here now. Oh, big shove in the back there by Daniel Mason. And then here is a good kick in the middle of the ground. Will they have a connection? No, it bounces in front. One-on-one contest. One out by Maury, the vice captain, sending this one down. Here they come out the back once again. Oh, he took him down. And there was a legal takedown as the ball gets knocked away. Again, Rainwater was able to get that one up on the far side. Ball bounces in front. The Dragons will get that one forward. They need 2 goals, and they're going to need them as fast as possible. Goes up on the Cooper's beer tent side, but it turns it over, and that's not what you got to do in order to achieve the accomplishment.
Yeah. The rebounding off the halfback line for the Devils has just been superb. LA's really struggled to crack through that at times.
It's been like Fort Knox in the back line. And here come the Devils the other way. All 3 of their goals have looked really good. Canterbury's going to get mown down, but no call. Oh, yes, there is. Thank you. Sorry about that. Didn't hear the whistle, but I saw at the last minute. He got absolutely mown down. Great tackle in there, and the Dragons play off in a hurry. Here is Martin Del Campo. Big left-footed boot. Got carried in the wind. Hops up. 4 players are around it. Who's going to win the raffle? The winning number is 19 with Brent Edmonds. Edmonds tries to turn himself around going up the far side, and we'll have a boundary throw. And this is where the Dragons want the football, but they are running out of time, 10 points adrift.
That's where they got penetration. I mentioned earlier they were struggling to get the ball inboard. They did it earlier that time on the halfback line, came into the middle of the field, and they got a forward 50 entry out of it.
Ball comes spinning back in the play now as we have a whistle. And we'll try this again. I'm wondering if it's didn't see that initially because they didn't have the binoculars on it, but it looks like we're going to have a secondary ball in. See the flags now. Now they're blowing away from the field, SARS. The season has shifted. This is almost like Melbourne weather. It is almost been like, it's more like 3 seasons in a day.
Little swirly. And we felt it kind of change behind us a little bit a few minutes ago. Now the flags gave us an indication that is in fact the case. So a little more of a crosswind. That'll even things out. Tough tackle there.
Stu Rackham
got it around the neck.
Stu Rackham, who I think is in his mid-60s.
That's very possible. He would have played and been a bit of veteran when I was early in my career 20 plus years ago.
And Australian too, so it's not like he just started playing when Dallas formed back in the early 90s. He's been around a long time. And we'll have a boundary throw in now. So again, 10-point lead. Devils trying to go to 2-0, looking at possibly making a grand final here in their 4th season. Ball goes to ground, going to get picked up. Dollar got held up. Is a call going to be made? Well, there is a call that's going to be made, but the umpire, Dave Bryant, hugs himself because he's good enough, he's smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like him.
29, Canterbury there with a great individual effort. He slipped on a ball he probably could have marked, still got a hand on it, still popped up to apply the tackle.
And if they win, he will definitely be able to tell some tales. There is Zach Canterbury with the football. He goes around, swings around now on a Looney or on a Tooney, sending this one, it drops in front. Ball gets knocked down, and that is it. Full time, and the North Texas Devils are 2-0. It was a hard-fought victory for them.
Yeah, good,
but they got it.
Good victory, Brian. Nice job slipping in the little Chaucer there. Time for a bath, if I can continue your terrible little joke for all these players because they're done for the day. A bit of dejection amongst the Dragons, and rightly so. They worked really hard and hung in this game that they actually really were outplayed in quite a bit. What was the difference? Did they have the effort? I'd say yes and no. Their tackling was superb. They were fierce in the contest, but to be honest, it was when they were in range, and it was the group running and the group effort that let them down a little bit. They didn't have enough numbers there. North Texas did, and when they played on, they were damaging.
Yeah, they really were. We saw on Canterbury's goal there where he had the presence of mind to run behind the play, and he was out the back so quickly. I mean, he just could kick the ball. He was, I mean, and I had seen him. I had him in my vision. He went on a dead sprint for about 45 meters, and the vision of the kick and just him being able to run onto it and run on through was really, really good, and that helped spur on the victory.
Yeah, timing was a thing of beauty on that goal specifically, and like you said, you could just sort of see it develop, and he really had pace to get to the backside of that contest and collect that for a goal.
Well, that's going to do it for this particular game. Once again, the North Texas Devils winners over the LA Dragons 23-13. The Devils finished the day at 2-0. And they are in good shape. We'll, of course, have to see what happened with the rest of the group. Of course, we have Philadelphia and Calgary behind us. Coming up at 2 o'clock here on Cooper's Field, it will be a Division it'll be a Division I match. It'll be Austin. We'll see the hometown Austin Crows for the first time today as they play La Sainte Quebec. That is a Division I game. Also in men's Division I, the Denver Bulldogs and the Sacramento Suns. And then we've got the Orange County Giants taking on North Texas. That's in Division IV. Minnesota will play Arizona over on Division IV as well. We'll come back with the next game. It's a men's Division I match, as we said, between the Austin Crows and Quebec Saints. And you're watching it right here on USAFL.com. It's the 2024 USAFL National Championships presented by Tasmania.
The USAFL 2024 Nationals is brought to you by Tasmanian, the quiet pursuit of the extraordinary. Cooper's, Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Visit Austin, live music capital of the world. Two Hands Hospitality, fueling your lifestyle. Watch AFL, stream every match. Devil's Corner, Tasmania. HBC Event Services. Play Aussie. Premier Sports Medicine. And by the Movember Foundation.